Hello, this is Shishmita and welcome to session 6 of units and measurement. In this session, we are going to solve the problems I had given you as homeworks. So let's get started. This is the homework for unit and measurement. They have given us a list of some quantities and we have to match the quantities in the list 1 with the quantities on the list 2. So torque, as I have already told you, torque is nothing but the moment of force. That means force into distance. Force is in Newton and distance, the unit of distance is meter. So torque will be Newton meter. So A corresponds to 3. As soon as we get this, we will sort through our options. So this option and this option will cancel out. Now stress. Stress is what? Force per unit area. That means Newton meter to the minus 2. So B corresponds to number 4 over here. So B4. So this is our correct option. This cancels out. That is how we will solve problem. We will keep on solving the whatever is given to us one by one and we will solve through the options. That is how we are going to solve the problem in much short time. Moving on to the next problem. Given below are two statements. One is assertion and the other one is reason. So what is the assertion? Time period of oscillation of a liquid drop depends on the surface tension. If the density of the liquid is rho and the radius of the drop is r, it is given. So this is dimensionally correct. K is given as a dimensionless constant. Using dimensional analysis, we get RHS or the right hand side having different dimension than that of the time period. So this is time period T and it should have the dimension of capital T, we know that. Let us now check for the quantity that is within the square root. So here rho is given as the density of the liquid. That means rho is mass over volume or mass over L cube. This is rho. R is simply the radius. So R have the dimension of L cube. What is S? S is the surface tension. Surface tension is nothing but the force per unit length. So mLT to the power minus 2 by L or mt to the power minus 2. So surface tension to the power 3 by 2 means m to the power 3 by 2 t to the power minus 3. Let us now find out the dimension for this quantity, which becomes m L to the power minus 3, r cube means L cube, s to the power 3 by 2 is m to the power 3 by 2 t to the power minus 3. So this cancels out and this become 1 over m to the power 3 by 2 minus 1. That means half, m to the power half t to the power minus 3. So root over this is obviously not equal to the dimension of t. So our assertion is wrong and our right hand side has a different dimension, that of time period. So this is true. So reason is true but assertion is false. This is the correct answer. Moving on to the next problem. A, B, C, D are 4 different physical quantities. They have different dimension but none of them are dimensionless. We know the equation AD equal to C ln BD holds true. Then which of the combination is not a meaningful quantity? So AD is equal to C ln BD. This is true. Again, this ln function, this is a trigonometric function and this has no dimension. Therefore, BD will be dimensionless or BD will be equal to 1. That means the dimension of AD must equal to the dimension of C. Let us now look into our quantities. They are connected to each other by a subtraction sign. Therefore, the dimension of A must be equal to the dimension of BC for this equation to have a meaning. Let us now check So the dimension of B and the dimension of C, we can write the dimension of C as the dimension of AD from this equation. Therefore the dimension, we can combine these two, dimension of BD into dimension of A. Now BD has a dimensionless quantity, so this is 1 into dimension of A. So obviously our left hand side and the this quantity and this quantity have the same dimension, so it is a meaningful quantity. So this is not our option. They want to know which is not a meaningful quantity. A minus C by D, that means A by D minus C by D. So both of these must have the same dimension for this to be meaningful. Now let it be A by D minus C is equal to AD using this equation. So AD by D, DD cancel out and it becomes A by D minus D. So obviously these two does not have the same dimension. So this is a meaningless quantity. Now for our understanding, we can look at the other options as well. Just for learning, we are in the learning phase now. So A by B minus C, what does that mean? A 1 by B is equal to D minus C and C is equal to AD. So obviously this is also a meaningful option. And C by BD, AD square by C, C by BD, BD is 1, so C by BD has the dimension of C, AD square by C, AD into D by C, AD has the dimension of C into D by C, which also has the dimension of D. So this has the dimension of C and this has the dimension of D. So they do not have the same dimension. So this option is also not meaningful. So we have got two options that are not meaningful. These are that type of question where more than one option will be correct. So check out for all the options. Moving on for the next. Electric field E and the magnetic field B stands for the dimension, okay. Epsilon 0 mu 0 stands for the dimension of permittivity and permeability of free space. Length and time has dimension L and T, obviously. All the quantities are given in SI unit. They want to know the relation between epsilon 0 mu 0. One of the easiest, simplest relation between mu 0 and epsilon 0 is, I have told you in my earlier classes, mu 0, 1 by mu 0 epsilon 0 is equal to C square. We know that. So let us find out if they have given the relation in terms of this equation. In all these equations you see mu 0 is in one side and on the other side there is epsilon 0. So that means we have to arrange the equation like this. Mu 0 is equal to C square by epsilon 0, or mu 0 is epsilon 0 inverse C square. So this option cancels out, this option cancels out because they do not have epsilon 0 inverse. We are left with these two options. Now C square, C is the dimension of velocity, therefore L t to the minus 1, and C square will have the dimension L square t to the minus 2. This option matches our description. So therefore this is the correct answer. The distance over which a signal can be seen clearly in a foggy condition. Railway engineer uses a dimensional analysis and he assumed that this distance D, it depends on the mass density of the fog, the intensity which is taken as S, and the frequency. Let us assume the dependence as to the power x, y and z. So rho is the mass density, which is mass per unit volume, or m L to the power minus 3. The dimension of intensity is given as power per unit area. So power is ml square t to the power minus 3 divided by a unit area means L square. So m t to the minus 3. Frequency is simply 1 over time period or t to the power minus 1. Let us put these quantities together. So m L to the minus 3 to the power x. For intensity, m t to the power minus 3 to the power y and t to the minus 1 to the power z. Let us now bring the powers of the similar quantities together. So m to the power x plus m to the power y is m to the x plus y, L to the power minus 3x, and there are no other quantities involving L. Let us now bring that of t as minus 3y minus z. We are now going to equate the dimension power of the quantities having the similar dimension from left hand side and right hand side. So there are no terms involving m on the left hand side. So x plus y simply becomes 0. X and y are related to each other through this equation. L to the power 1 on the left hand side and from the right hand side it is minus 3x. So x becomes minus 1/3. That means y becomes 1/3. And that is all we want to know. We do not need to solve for z further. So as you can see over here that our d depends on s to the power y or as s to the power 1/3. So if it depends on s to the power 1 by n, the value of n is equal to 3. That is our answer. Let us look into the problem 6. Here they have given us the dimension of the magnetic field as B in terms of the electronic charge, electronic mass, Planck's constant and Coulomb's constant. So we know that we can find out the dimension of magnetic field using these equations. Force by charge into velocity. Force is ml t to the minus 2. Charge is current multiplied by time. Velocity is L t to the minus 1. So this cancels out and we are left with mt to the minus 1 I inverse. So mt to the minus 2 I inverse. Charge is current into time. Electronic mass is the dimension of m. That of Planck's constant can be found out using this equation. Energy by this or energy into time period. That means ml square t to the power minus 2 into t or ml square t to the power minus 1. So ml square t to the power minus 1 whole to the power gamma, and k can be found out using the Coulomb's equation of force. So Ks comes out to be F r square by q square. That means ml t to the minus 2 r square is L square. So L cube by I square t square. So ml cube I to the power minus 2 t to the power minus 4. So ml cube I to the power minus 2 and t to the power minus 4 to the power delta. We are now going to bring the powers of the similar quantities together. So m to the power beta, m to the power gamma, and there is another m to the power delta. Looking for the powers of L to the power 2 gamma plus 3 delta. Looking for the powers of T alpha minus gamma minus 4 delta, and that for I to the power alpha minus 2 delta. We are now going to equate the powers from the right hand side to the left hand side, and the first equation we get equating the powers of m is this. Let us name this as equation 1. Matching the powers of L from both sides, there are no terms involving n on our left hand side, so this becomes 0. Our third equation we get by equating the powers for t, and this is minus 2. So let us name this as our equation 3, and let us equate the power of I to get to our fourth equation, which is alpha minus 2 delta is equal to minus 1. Now we have got 4 equations and 4 variables. We have to solve these equations to get the value of each variable, then we can add them up to get to our answer. So first let us take equation 3 and equation 4. Subtract these two. So they cancel out and we get minus gamma minus 2 delta is equal to minus 1. Let us name this as our equation 5. There is another equation involving gamma and delta, that is the equation 2. What we can do is we can multiply equation 5 by 2. So we get minus 2 gamma multiplying this by 2. Minus 4 delta is equal to minus 2. And this is our equation 2. 2 gamma plus 3 delta is equal to 0. We can add up this 2 to get minus delta is equal to minus 2 or delta is equal to 2. So our value of delta is 2. We can now use our equation 2 to find out the value of gamma, because we already know the value of delta as 2. This is 0. So 2 gamma is equal to minus 6 or gamma is equal to minus 3. So let us write it down over here. Gamma is equal to minus 3. We can use the value of delta to find out the value of alpha using equation 4, because alpha is equal to minus 1 plus 2 delta. So minus 1 plus 2 into delta, that is 4. So this becomes 3. Let us write it down. Alpha is 3. Now we can use this equation to find out the value of beta. Equation 1. Beta is equal to 1 minus gamma minus delta. So 1 minus gamma is minus 3. So this becomes plus 3. And delta is 2. So this is minus 2. 4 minus 2, which is 2. So beta has the value of 2. Add all these up. 2 minus 3, which is minus 1. Minus 1 plus 3 is plus 2. Plus 2 is equal to 4. So 4 is our answer. Hope it is clear to you. So this is about the homework solutions for IIT JEE. I am going to provide another video for the homework solutions for Neet that I had given in our session in unit and measurement. So see you in the next video. Till then, take care.